Get a little comfier here. Hi, everybody. Mary here from Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and welcome back to our weekly chat. Let me see if I can get a little more comfy here. Oh, and preferably not crooked. Maybe we can get it. Oh! Bloopers, I tell ya. Alrighty, everybody. Give me a minute while I get back on track. We're a little dusty here. It has been one of the crazier weeks here at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. It is a little windy out here where I'm at. All right, let's see. Can you see me? Hopefully we can get through this without more bloopers than I've already had in the last minute and a half. Hello and welcome. I am Mary from Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and today I have a little more specific topic to discuss. There we are. For those of you just joining me for the first time, I try to go live here every Thursday at 5 p.m. Last week I missed you guys. Hang on. Wind is blowing, which is why I lost my camera a second ago. I try to go live here every Thursday at 5 p.m. here on my YouTube channel. You can also see lots of helpful information on my website, and if you sign up for our emails, you will get up-to-date information as soon as it's available. So for those of you just joining me, like I said earlier, welcome if it's your first time, and welcome back if you join me regularly. So there were about seeds that I wanted to answer today, but as always, every week, before I get into the actual topic of the conversation today, which is specifically seed questions and answers. If you followed me along the last few months during my live chats, we've been talking specifically about garden questions and answers. For those of you watching, let me know if you can see me properly or if it's a little fuzzy so I can fix it on my end. Today I wanted to talk about seed questions and answers because I had a very specific question about seeds. But before I get to that topic tonight, I want to share with you a couple of updates at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. Today is September 29th. Today is the last day of my September or my fall seed giveaway. So if you go to marysheirloomseeds.com, you can check out Mary's blog and you'll see that our seed giveaway is listed. You have to scroll past a couple articles that I recently posted. But if you sign up for my emails, you've already received the notification for our giveaway. That ends tonight. I have an end of the year seed sale as well. This is kind of we're just about to switch over to 2023, so I need to make some room on my shelves. So if you are interested in great seeds at a much lower price, you can always check out our recent seed sale, and that ends tomorrow, which is the 30th. So there's a couple of new things that we've added. Our t-shirts are one. This is something that I did as a pre-order, so they're not available regularly, but if you're interested, you can always send an email and I'll try to get to you. If you've watched any of my videos, by the way, while I'm chatting with you tonight, you're more than welcome to ask your questions in the comment section. So, hey Cindy, you say it's pretty clear, it skips a little here. So let me see if I can fix. Welcome Cindy, thanks for joining me. You are in Southeast Texas. Well, welcome. I'm in East Texas. So it is finally a little cooler here, and I'm really enjoying being outside. So today I wanted to answer a couple of specific seed questions. So our topic today is seed Q&A. Every time I'm live, and most of my social media posts, I mention if you have questions, please ask. There are, in some cases, people are intimidated. Hey Julia, maybe you're intimidated because maybe you think the question you're asking is dumb or not smart. Hey, Married with Chickens, and I have it's cliche. There are no dumb questions, but there really are no dumb questions, because something that you might think is, Well, maybe she's going to think that this is like simple, hey, Jamie's Country Living, thank you. Maybe you think that it is a newbie or a beginner question that is just silly. I will answer your questions. I will send an email response back. So my email is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com. I do try to keep it simple. And I apologize if I lose you. The first minute of going live, I lost my camera and everything went sideways and I had to fix it. It's a little windy out here, but I'm in kind of a shaded area that hopefully we don't get too much wind. So I actually printed out a question from a customer. Hey, Will It Grow? Thank you so much for joining me. Definitely check out Will It Grow later on YouTube and give them a subscribe as well. If you're just joining me here, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel as well, please. So I actually printed out the question because it was a very important question. At Mary's Heirloom Seeds, we sell heirloom seeds. It's kind of obvious with the name of my company, but I wanted to share with you this question because this customer was concerned that their question was dumb, and I will say that it is not a dumb question at all. So let me get to it. If I purchase and plant your heirloom seeds and harvest the fruit or vegetable, will the seed that produced in the fruit or vegetable reproduce fruits and vegetables again? I know it sounds dumb, right? I have read everything on your website, and I guess I need a little reassurance before making a purchase. Now, I will say that that is not a dumb question. That is an awesome question because not everyone knows the difference between heirloom seeds and hybrid seeds and genetically modified seeds. So I want to just clear that up for you because that is an awesome question. Before I get to my answer, I recently saw the news that genetically modified purple tomatoes are going to be available for backyard gardeners as of next year. If you followed Mary's Heirloom Seeds for a longer time than maybe the last year, 6 months, you may not know my stance on that. And we sell heirloom seeds and we do not sell hybrid seeds. I'm not going to bash anybody that grows hybrid seeds, but there's a reason that I stick to heirloom seeds. And there's a reason that I would never, ever sell GMO purple tomato seeds. Not my thing. And I'm not going to get into the arguments that are out there on the potential benefits of agrochem produced seeds. But I will say that heirloom seeds are where it is at. You can grow an heirloom purple tomato. You can save the seeds from your heirloom purple tomato. You can grow the same heirloom purple tomato next year from those saved seeds. You don't have to worry about some faceless person in a suit telling you that you're not allowed to save those seeds. That you're not allowed to sell those seeds, that you're not allowed to reproduce from those seeds. An heirloom tomato seed can be grown and shared and continue to be shared for generations, for decades, passed down from family to family, and there's no issue. So I am a firm believer that heirloom seeds are where it's at, and I had that stance prior to being Mary at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. It didn't change, but there's a reason that I did get into being Mary the Seed Lady. Somebody came into my shop. They were picking up our mail, and she said, "How did you get into seeds? How did you get into heirloom seeds?" Like, I stand by that. So, and it's not just something I wear. It's something I grow in my garden, and it's something that I share with the world. How did I get into heirloom seeds? I have been growing seeds. I have been growing from seed. I've been growing food for a long time. When I learned about what was going on with our food in the big grand scheme of things, I decided that I wanted to help more people grow food. So from that stemmed Mary's Heirloom Seeds. I don't just sell you the seeds, I teach you how to grow them. So let me answer that question now. The original question of, can you grow those? Can you save them? And can you grow them again next year? So my answer is, and I'm going to read this because it is a little long, but you'll get why I'm doing this. Thank you for reaching out. That is definitely not a dumb question. My explanation is long-ish because it's not a simple answer, and those seeds you harvest will produce true plants for generations. This is why we still have heirloom seeds. And I sent out an email about that, and I'll get to that in just a second. Seed saving is such an important way for us to preserve our history. The but to this is cross-pollination. A tomato will not cross with a pepper, for example, but a zucchini can cross with another type of summer squash if you don't allow for proper distancing. If you plan to grow multiple varieties of squash, for example, you will need to give each variety adequate amounts of space between varieties. If you want to collect those seeds and plant true to parent the next year. So if you want pure seeds, you're going to need to make sure that you have adequate distance between the two. Now, off the top of my head, I can't rattle off every single one because I have a chart on my computer that makes my life a lot easier. But sometimes this isn't possible for small spaces. But basil, for example, I literally just sent out an email about seed saving for basil because not only do I teach you how to grow it, but now I teach you how to save those seeds so that you too can have your own personal seed bank. So basil, for example, is 150 feet between plants. But I also explained in my basil seed saving article about how to grow multiple varieties in a small space but still be able to save those seeds. Or, hang on just a moment, I'm trying to see everybody. Or you can also grow multiple varieties and only save from one variety. So those are things that I discussed on my basil seed saving. But I sent this information out in an email as well. So if you haven't signed up for my email, in the description section of this video, you will find links to my comprehensive planting guide. You'll find links to the sign up for my email. And you'll also find links to seed garlic, which I'll get to in just a second. That's the next part of my seed Q&A today. Now, we do not sell hybrid seeds at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. Most hybrid seeds will not produce seeds that will grow the same variety the next year. And that's where that question is, you're not sure, because if you plant heirloom seeds specifically, those are seeds that have a history. Those are seeds that will produce the same each time. But a hybrid is a variety that has been crossed. So you take two different types of tomatoes and you cross them to make a new variety. Now, those saved seeds may not be true to plant. They may come up with one of the parent or the other of the parent, but not the two, as a cross, as a hybrid. So if you ever are scrolling through the internet and you see something that says F1, for example, that is an early generation hybrid where you may not get, you will most likely not get the same plant if you save those seeds. And some hybrids produce sterile seeds, which means they're not going to grow the next year. It's not even that you're not going to get something, you just won't get anything. So that is why that is definitely not a dumb question. It is a fantastic question to ask. So always in my videos, I'm saying, if you have additional questions, please ask, because I like to answer these questions for you. Now, another seed question I received this month is about seed garlic. So by the way, while you're chatting with me, please ask your questions in the comment section. You can send me an email. The lighting is a little weird today because Willow Grow says, well explained, Mary, thank you. So I do try not to get too soapbox, but this is something I'm very passionate about. This is something I've been talking about for decades. So I've been Mary at Mary's Heirloom Seeds since 2011. And then before that, I was just growing and sharing the information. So I do try to explain it as simply as possible, but also do what I talk about as well. So seed garlic is the next question. Now, we offer seed garlic as a pre-order in July, and it's already September. So we have now shipped out all of the pre-orders, or most of the pre-orders, unless some of you asked me to hold on to it if you're in Florida. For those of you who are in Florida, we are thinking about you. We still have friends and family and customers and friends that we consider family in Florida. So it's been a little bit of a stressful week for me as well, not just getting out a couple hundred orders of seed garlic, but also having friends and family kind of in the line of fire with Ian, and then also just life in general, just because I do this for this seed stuff doesn't mean I don't have anything else on my plate, as my friend says, in your free time, in your extra time. So I want to talk about a little bit about seed garlic. So seed garlic is not actual seeds. There is garlic seeds, which are like onion seeds. But if you choose to grow garlic from actual seeds, it's going to take you 2 years or more to actually get some garlic. Whereas seed garlic is an actual bulb. The last video I did was preserving garlic. Hi, Linda. Thanks for joining us. If you can't see me, please let me know. It's a little funny with the sun behind me, so I couldn't go live in my garden today because it was really just the sun was right on my face. And now I was in the shade, and now the sun's on me again. So for those of you just joining me, thank you for joining me. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you get a chance. So last part of my seed Q&A today was seed garlic. I have already a couple tutorials about how to plant and grow seeds. So seed garlic is super easy. Cindy Holly says, one problem I've had while trying to save squash or pumpkin seeds, I still get moldy seeds or they don't spread at all when I'm try next spring, even after I attempt to dry them. Okay, Cindy, if you haven't signed up for my email list, I highly recommend it, because the next email I'm sending out is specific about saving squash seeds. So definitely check that out. One of my friends who runs a Facebook gardening group, she said that she's had 90% germination rate from her saved seeds since she started using my tips and tutorials on seed saving. So I don't say that to toot my own horn. It's just that I do have the information available, and that's the next email I want to send out. So if you haven't already signed up, that's a really good one. If your seeds are getting moldy, it's most likely because either you're not getting enough of the, definitely do it, Cindy, and I'll make sure you get it. If you send me a special email, if you don't get it, I will definitely make sure you get it. So with squash seeds, if you don't clean off the outer pulp, the outer flesh of the actual squash, that's going to make it mold easier, but you also need to make sure it dries very well. The number one reason for moldy seeds is because you didn't allow it to dry enough. And we may think, oh, you touch it and you feel it and it's dry, and I do it all the time myself sometimes. It is most likely that it isn't dry enough. So my squash tutorial for seed saving is going to explain time. It's going to explain the how-to on drying and seed saving. So definitely check it out. Linda says, thank you for recommending us to pull up our tomato plants. We follow your advice and they are now going off. Yay! Okay, so Linda's in Texas. And we had the same thing where sometimes it gets so hot here. It was, I want to say 110, 113 with the heat index. And your tomato plants are like they're totally wilted and they're just not looking very good. So if you give it a little patience, give it a little babying, make sure you water it. Don't add a lot of fertilizer because you don't want it to get nice and green and fluffy before it's like beating down on the sun. And now it's finally cooling off. It's in the 80s, and the tomato plants, I'm looking at some tomato plants and they're like, woo! So I'm really glad I'm really glad you didn't pull it up. Willa Grow says I would die in that heat. So just to give you a little background on Mary's Heirloom Seeds, We started Mary's Heirloom Seeds in South Florida in 2011. It was 115 with the heat index, and I was in a covered area doing a farmer's market. I did for like 13 months at the Yellow Green Farmer's Market. Boy, I was just drenched in sweat by the time I got home, but it was such an awesome experience. Then I was in California where my family is, and it got to be 120 and dry in the summertime with the heat index. And now I'm in Texas. I love it here. I love it here. 110, no worries. I don't mind. I know it's hot, but I don't complain because we have seasons here. We had snow. I had my first snow in, I think it was February. We have so much more rain. I'm looking out here and I have this beautiful like forest in my backyard. So there's some give and takes with some hot weather, some cool weather. I do like the seasons though. Anyway, so I'm doing a little reminiscence. Sorry about that. All right, so seed garlic. I'm going to make this short because I'm already losing my voice. It's been a really crazy week in the seed shop. So I'm like, I got to save my voice for tomorrow. All right, so seed garlic. You see all those? So this is a bulb, and this is a clove, okay? So this is what we ship out. Will It Grow says, we got the 90s here in the Northeast and I had 2 heat strokes. Oh man, you got to be careful with that. Definitely drink more water and you got to stay inside sometimes. I do get out into the garden early in the morning and late in the afternoon so that I'm not out there when it's 120, 110, whatever it was. All right, so garlic. I have a more detailed video, and if you sign up for my emails, I will send out the garlic growing tips. I do have a tutorial for it. But as far as seed garlic goes, this is a bulb of seed garlic, and this is a clove. This is what you plant. So this one bulb might get you 16, 18. This is a soft neck variety. By the way, if you're still looking for seed garlic, we do have quite a bit of soft neck varieties. They're my favorite. One bulb can get you like 16 cloves, maybe even more. And every single one of these cloves can grow a brand new bulb. So imagine getting one of these bulbs in the mail, and you've got 16 of these to plant. Each one of these can grow another one of these. So that's a lot of garlic for one bulb. And 1/2 pound will probably get you about 4 bulbs, maybe 5 bulbs. So that's a really good, decent amount of garlic to grow. Some of them we have a pound available, so check it out in the description section of the video. You will find a link to our seed garlic. There are some left, and we are shipping out right on time right now. So you won't have to wait till October for us to ship out your garlic. So that is the last of my video as far as clarifying for questions about seeds specifically. Spartacus says, how long does a bulb last? Does it have to be planted right away? Yes. So as far as seed garlic is concerned, if you grow this and if you cure it properly, you can store this for longer. But actual seed garlic should be planted this season. So if you are in Texas, for example, you're going to be planting your seed garlic anywhere between October through January, depending on your area. I'm going to plant mine in October, late October or early November. Will It Grow says, do you sell hardneck? Yes, but I'm pretty much sold out. If you send me an email to mary@marysheirloomseeds.com, I will let you know exactly what I have left over. We are just finally finishing shipping out our pre-orders from July. People placed their orders and we shipped them out last week and this week. So we're just finally finished with the hard neck. So I'll let you know exactly what we have. My email, by the way, is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com, and I do answer your emails. So that's the last thing on my questions and answers for seeds specifically is seed garlic. They're not actually seeds, they're bulbs. And these need to be planted this season. Even if it snows in your area, you plant this before your first frost, and you will harvest in July. So it's a little bit of a labor of love. It takes a little longer than, say, a tomato plant, but it is well worth it. My friend, she lives down the road. She says, I don't know why I didn't plant this earlier. It's so easy. You literally plant these bulbs, and there's not much work that needs to be done. You make sure you've got good soil that you planted in, and if you have heavy snow where you live, you want to mulch it so that it's protected. And then once the spring comes, you want to move a little bit of that mulch out of the way so they can pop through. You start watering it before it starts bulbing. That's it. I fertilize mine once a month with some mountain flower compost tea. There's very few weeds. There's very few pests. I don't have to worry about squirrels and rabbits eating it because garlic stinks and they don't want to eat it. So it's one of my most pest tolerant crops that I've got. Cul-de-sac Grocery Garden says, I got my order from you just a few minutes ago. Well, awesome. Congratulations and happy planting. Alrighty, everybody. So I'm going to head out, give my voice a little bit of rest for my busy day again tomorrow in the seed shop. Like I mentioned before, if you've got any questions, you can always send an email to Mary at marysheirloomseeds.com. In the description section of this video, you will find my comprehensive planting guide as well as seed garlic links as well, and the email sign up if you want to receive my next announcement, which is going to be seed saving for squash. I'm Mary at Mary's Heirloom Seeds signing off, and thank you so much for planting.